Hello, everybody. Welcome to the video of the challenges on our journey to wealth. And I have a special guest today, Parul, and we're going to share our challenges on our way to become a wealthy woman. And if you are watching this and you just genuinely want to up level in whatever life area, even in your business, in your career, in your health, in your dating and relationships, you can still get so many good infos from here because those challenges come up at any kind of up level. But today we are going to focus on money. Would you like to introduce yourself, my dear Pavel, for those ladies who don't know you yet?
Thank you so much for having me here, Elizabeth. My name is Parul. I'm a money manifestation coach, and I've had some personal breakthroughs and successes in the last month. So from March of this year to May, I have 8 times my income. And while it comes with a lot of perks, as always, money does that for us. It also comes with its own fair share of challenges. And that's what we're here to talk about.
Yes, and we kind of discovered that so many people don't talk about the challenge part. And do you ever feel stuck? Like, do you ever feel like your life isn't moving forward? Then most likely you're facing some kind of challenges, and those challenges keep you where you are. It's like when you're like here and I don't know, you have a certain income, let's say 3K, and you want to go to 10K. What usually happens, we want to up level, but then we need to, like, imagine two mountains, and then we kind of go down the mountain first because this is how we get down, and then we go up to the higher mountain. But most people go down the mountain and they freak out. Like I did too. We will share with you guys our stories. Um, but like most people go down and then it's like so dark, and then you think, oh, like everything's going worse. So I much rather go back to like 3K and just stay there. So, and then you have the sense of I'm stuck. And I had this feeling too for many years. I was actually stuck. Like my life keep repeating, my pattern keep repeating, my money reality, my everything like just stayed the same. And I couldn't move forward because I couldn't overcome this dark space. And most people have the same issue. So if you are facing any kind of stuckness in money, relationship, this is usually the biggest blockage and the biggest challenge to overcome. Because as me and Parul and everybody else is, you're meant to have your dream, you're meant to have whatever you want. It's just that up level process is not easy. We humans, we are just made to be with the same pattern, the same reality, because it keeps us safe. It keeps our brain feeling safe, although we're not happy with the reality. But yeah, I personally was so focused on the up level process, how to overcome that in the last years to really master that, because I wanted to have like a better reality and a better, like in all life areas. Okay. So another example would be like a rubber band. You stretch, but then it's like so uncomfortable because it's stretched. And then once you like hold it, stop stretching it, it drops back. So how can we, up leveling means that how can we stretch and be in comfort with the new version and that it doesn't snap back? So Parul, you said that you have like a big expansion in the last month, right? Of I think 8 times your income,
Yeah.
right? So what was the things that came up for you that kind of like were the dark space, like that came with this up level?
Okay, so I want to begin by saying that it was not an overnight success. It's not like, in March I started doing what I was doing and suddenly I woke up in May and everything changed. There's a lot of inner work that went into that. But what happens when you do the inner work is you realize you have these beliefs about, whether it's money, relationships, health, anything, how it gets to be true for you, what gets to be true. And uh, I feel these limitations kind of come up in a very magnified way when you up level, because I don't know if God is trying to test me. I don't think that's true, but God is giving me an opportunity to see that, can you hold this? And what happened with me was that the moment I 8 times my monthly income, I was like, oh my God, was it a fluke? Because, hey, I did not deserve this, because that's the narrative underneath. Was it a fluke? And what would happen if it were a fluke? I would be disappointed next month if I don't reach that income level. So all my fears are coming up. And the other thing that came up was that a lot of glitches came up when it came to getting the actual money into my bank account, when getting the payments processed through the payment services, different sources of income. So in that time, in that 1 week time, I was so anxious. It was like, at the time when I'd started working on my money and anxiety, all of it came back so forcefully, like 10 times that impact. And I was like, I'm not going to get it. I'm going to lose all that I've earned. So,
That's so beautiful that you shared. That's why I'm saying to all of my clients who always tell me, "Oh, I need this money to feel safe, or I need this money to feel abundant, or I need this man to feel loved, or I need this man to this." Man and money will make whatever you have inside, if you get them, even stronger. So if you have love inside you, it's already cultivated through inner work, you will have more love. If you already feel abundant and safe inside, with more money, you will feel more safe and more abundant. However, if you internally have some kind of blockages or fears, money will just make it stronger. And the guy who comes into your life will also make it stronger. So that's why so many women, when they start dating a guy that they like, they start obsessing about them, being so afraid to, like, that he doesn't like them, he doesn't ask for second date. Why? Because they have this fear that the guy just made bigger. And same was for you, for example, with the money part, that those fears just came up visible because it made it stronger. And I will let you share until the end, and then I share also my example, what happened when I leveled up with money, and it was pretty similar, but in a different kind of way.
sure. So, what I'm saying was that, it's not like I've not done the inner work, but I feel no matter how much you learn these things, when you actually reach that breakthrough, that you receive what you wanted, your desires start coming true, that's when these fears and anxiety, they come up in a big way. And that is, life is the biggest test that way. Not that there's any drama, but the drama is within us because those triggers are within us. So I feel that without coaches, without the support of, fellow coaches like you, without my own mentor, I don't think I would have been able to hold this expansion. I would have just said, listen, this is too much of work, this is too much stress, and I'm better off without it. Because one of my dominant feelings around money was that more money means, a lot more stress. And what we have deeply within us, it magnifies in these moments when we actually get what we want. And that is
Absolutely.
exactly what happened.
Absolutely. Same was for me. If I didn't have coaches, I didn't have one, but I have multiple coaches throughout the last years in consistently investing myself, I would have never been able to up level because those challenges come up. They have to be cleaned up, and they, like, I know how to clean them up, but they come up and they can be overwhelming. And I did have many moments even in my business, but even my private life, of like in dating, relationships, family, health, and business, where I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to up level. It's like always coming with some kind of um, it's always coming with some kind of challenges, and I don't want to up level anymore. Oh, this is exciting though, because this year, March or April, around this time, I was talking to my mentor, and I was like, I don't think I want to up level anymore. This year, I said this, because, and she's like, why? Because every time up level, like, I get triggers, something happens, like I manifest awful things in my reality, blah blah. And then I came up, by the way, but this is only something that I teach my advanced students, advanced one-on-one students, which I will share with you, Paul, too, but behind the scenes. I came up actually with a method to up level having without having the universe throwing stuff at you, like without having no money or people disappearing or people acting out, because those things come up every time we up level. And I actually found a method, and it's not like anything special. When you understand the process, you would know how it works, but it's like literally catching it by the root, because you would already know when those fears creep up, when those feelings creep up. And when you can kind of catch it by the root, clean it up, and change into the embodiment of like, okay, I'm okay, then those negative things wouldn't come up in our reality. Because what happens is we don't do anything about it. Like, for example, a woman is dating and she has this fear that the guy would be gone, or he doesn't like her, and then she doesn't clean this root fear, and then it manifests with the guy going away, and only then she might be coming to me and be like, Ellie, what can I do? But when we would have catch it before, all of those traumatic things wouldn't happen. And same with money, like bank account being stuck, all of that happened to me too. Yeah, and let me share with you, ladies, just one example. When I had my first breakthroughs of 5-figure months, like multiple 5-figure months even, it was like the worst week of my life. Not because it was awful. I was actually so sad that I couldn't celebrate it. But I was just so triggered. I was just crying so much. Why? Because for me, the fear of abandonment come up so much, the fear to lose something that I love. And it was already inside of me. It's like when you have an orange and you squeeze it, orange juice comes out. When you have like an orange, you kind of like, you know, make orange, like with the machine, orange just comes out, like always the same thing. It was always inside of me, this abandonment fear, but it really came up when this money come into my bank account, this fear to like lose it. It was so strong, so traumatic. And it happened actually multiple times, not only this 1 month, but like multiple times when I had multiple 5-figure weeks even. I was like so much in fear, and I had to clean this. I know how to heal these fears and triggers, like, but I had to clean this in order to make the pathway to those multiple 5-figure months clean. Otherwise, I would self-sabotage, be like, I don't want this. This is so painful. And please, no more money. I don't want money because it's like so painful. I get in fear of losing it. And my first thought was like, can I please give it away immediately? Because I can't hold this fear. Like, just like you say, I can't hold this money, but I couldn't hold this fear. And it's not about holding it forever. It's about transforming it, healing it, and actually feeling safe and comfortable receiving that money. So I know that so many coaches say, like, can you hold the disappointment? Can you hold the fear? Can you hold the negative emotions? Which is true. You have to be able to hold it to not self-sabotage. And yet, I'd say the next step above it, the best step is to really work with our coach, like for example with me and Pavel, who knows how to deal with triggers, how to deal with emotions, with emotional mastery, to really release those emotions and to actually feel safe and feel happy receiving that money, and feel unbothered when 1 month is 10K, next one 20, 30, like unbothered by that. So that's called emotional mastery. And I believe this is the key to like literal freedom, and to even financially or even a relationship. So these are the roots, and me and Pavel know how to teach you that. So yeah.
I agree. I absolutely agree. One thing that, came to my mind from our conversations was also that, you tend to feel, and this is a very subliminal conditioning that we get, that, kind of, it's lonely at the top. When you start doing well, it's lonely. And I remember not this year, but I think was it last year or the year before that when I started like working with one-to-one clients and it was good money started coming in. And then I was like, but what do I do with this money? I feel so lonely. Who do I celebrate it with? And that was another thing that came up for me. So is the problem this money, or is the problem that I have not created a community for me? I like that was for me, like a big problem at that time, that I was too focused on only work, 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 no boundaries with that, not going out, not giving it a chance, not thinking that how can I create a community? So I'm like, okay, I didn't have money and I didn't have a community. Now I have money, but I'm lonely. So it's like it proves that hypothesis that I had, which was not even on the surface, but or you can either have a lot of money or you can have friends. But then I planted the seeds for more money and also a community. So now at this point in time, it's not like that I'm sitting and I'm anxious. Will I make the money next month? Will I make it the next month? Because that's not how I want to make money. That's how most people make their money in jobs and also in a lot of businesses. I have my weekends full of, going out and socializing and meeting my friends and family. And interestingly, while there was a lot of worry about the money not reaching my actual bank account, but at the same time, I was going out a lot. And it's interesting, because we also talk about men, but over here, I would like to say that, a cousin of mine is visiting. He's the kind of guy who wants to provide for all the women he meets. So he would just take me out to these really nice places and he would never let me pay, never, not even for a cup of tea. And I have to share a funny incident here because, we went for dinner one day and we were going for some stand-up comedy and he wanted to have a cup of tea after our dinner and we went to another restaurant, a really nice one. And he just had to go to the washroom, when the bill came. And I was like, okay, now this is my chance to be able to pay a little bit. And what he did was he handed me his wallet and he said, when the bill comes, please pay from this. I'm like, but he's like, no, 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 nothing doing. So, also with men, I feel it's not like I needed him to pay for things. But I'm seeing both these things happen. On one hand, my income is increasing, but I'm also provided in different ways. And it's happening in so many ways with men around me. And it just occurred to me while we were talking about this, that, just like the universe provides you with money, there are men out there who are willing to do that. They are willing to provide when you're not in that needy, desperate zone, because when we are in that needy, desperate zone, I feel we attract the kind of people who are a match for that.
Absolutely. And I love how you bring this up that so many women think I can either have family, friends, a man, or my career. But there is a simple solution to that. Like healing your relationship with time, which I go over with my one-on-one clients as well, where you just have a balance. You just have a balance in between your, career. You have like a certain time where you do your work, and then you have a balance for free time. So kind of like not only focusing on one, but focusing on like having times throughout the day, or maybe weekdays where you focus on work and then you focus on your private life, right? So this is all possible. But then the next, but this is for the lady, I'd say, that still operates in her masculine energy in her career, which is okay. Like if you are very much into doing in the mental plane of like really focus, maybe you have a job like that, this is okay. And you would say that like most women who operate from the masculine, they naturally don't have great relationships because for a relationship, you need emotional connection. Like, have you ever met a guy that was not able to create any kind of emotional connection to you? Like, he was so much in his head. Like, he was so much like he was very masculine, but he was just so in his head, he could not have any kind of emotional connection. Have you ever met a guy like that or a person?
Oh, yeah. I think I was also a lot in my head at those times, because I
So
was that kind of person.
So usually for men, like very masculine men, they are like that all the time, most of the time. But then when they are around a feminine woman, they are able to drop into their body as well and like be for a second, have this emotional connection. that's why this is, by the way, the magnetic part, like where you can get a guy to be with you in this feminine energy. But what I'm trying to say here is that um, so many women who are operating from this masculine energy, and I get it, like have to, like, we have responsible jobs, you might be in a leader position, you just are a little bit of tight in your head and like really leading a little bit suppressed emotions, which is okay if you operate from that, but then being really aware of like, okay, now my workday is done, I get to I get to drop into my feminine energy. I get to drop into my body. I get to be more sensual, which is, by the way, something I'm teaching in my next masterclass next week, which is called "I'm Sexy and I Know It." It's about being attractive and dropping to your body, like after work too. And you know, so this is something you're gonna learn there. If you wanna join, you look in my description box. Anyways, so this is something you get to create the balance. But then for the next step, if you wanna live a life where you are like feel fully provided for, not only in your free time, but only also in your business, then this is the next step of living this feminine life, literally feminine life where pleasure is focused and the focus. And I would say me and Pavel, we both like you can tell we are like literal friends. We're not only like here to collaborate, we're like literally friends. And we both have feminine energy businesses. Like I prioritize pleasure. I only do my business what feels good. Like the masterclass I do is because that I do is because I want to do it. Like it's fun for me. And so we prioritize pleasure. We prioritize what feels good. So yes, we have this business which does take some of our doing and masculine energy, but at the same time, there is this feminine connection to my body, my essence, my intuition. What would feel good to me? Like the feeling is always so feminine. What would feel good to me? What kind of work would feel good to me? And I know not everybody has this privilege to be in a work situation like that where they can be like, what would feel good to me to do at work today? Like some people just have like a job and they have to get the task done, and I get it. And yet, for those of you who want also a career that is so much in your feminine energy, where you can just like do whatever feels good, you can ask your intuition intuitively, what will feel good to me as well? For example, I decided intuitively I'm gonna open up a phone coaching, which will be more affordable because lately it feels just so good to me to be outside of the house and travel, and it's just much easier to offer phone coaching than a video like that. So basically, the next step would be, if you desire that, to have also a career and a business where you can be in your feminine energy. You just like are playful, you do whatever feels good. Of course, you offer a service or a product in your business that's like different than dating, right? While dating, you just get to receive for doing nothing, absolutely nothing. You just be there, bring yourself, that's enough. But of course, in a business, you have an offer, you have a product. And at the same time, you can ask yourself, what would feel good to me? And that's so feminine, like having enough rest, asking yourself what your body needs, what you feel, what you like, what would feel so pleasurable, and still allowing the universe to provide for you, right? To the path of least resistance. Like that's the divine compensation for your work. And and that's what I also Paco is talking about, that yes, you're being provided for. Providing for means that you're just enjoying yourself, doing whatever feels good, and you receive the money for the divine compensation of your work, or even just when you are with someone who is in the masculine energy of provider. I even realized that with my own younger brother, since I decided to completely be in my feminine energy, just like being and receiving, enjoying myself, he stepped up so much. Like he drives me everywhere, he buys my groceries, he fixed this for me. So it's like, it's we inspire the universe to provide when we are in pleasure and just enjoying ourselves and just expressing our desires. And then the universe is just so beautiful, it just delivers that. But so many times we don't even know this is a possibility, and we can just express our desire and the universe delivers.
I love how you mentioned that it's different to be in our feminine when we are in the presence of a man when it comes to dating or a provider. And there's a difference in your business because there is a certain amount of doing. And I want to mention that, I was the kind of person who used to really force her way in life. Like it was a lot of struggle, a lot of hard work, because imagine just pushing against a wall and going really hard, and then you might be able to break through the wall, but it's really, really hard. And right now, and this is a brilliant example of what we are doing right now, is that I and Ellie, we didn't decide a week in advance that we must do it because we have a quota of X number of videos that we must put out. No, we literally just spoke about our experience. And, she said that I have gone through the same and I've never spoken much about it. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going through it. And why do people not speak about it as much? And then we spoke for, I think we didn't even speak. We exchanged voice notes and we're like, let's do this. Let's come up here and talk about these things. And this is what flow is like. Like we're not sitting here and preparing 10 times what needs to be done. So it's not a lot of head-based, like overthinking and what should be the rules, even though um, you know, this requires us to do certain things. It requires us to, take action. So yeah, I think this is what flow feels like in a certain aspect.
Yeah. So, my dear, what else would you like to share with all of the ladies who want to attract wealth? Like, as you mentioned before, okay. So, as you mentioned before, like, what would you like to share with all of the ladies that want to attract wealth, but then they're trying by themselves and they feel stuck?
You only know what you know right now, and you'll not be able to see your blind spots. Yes, you can coach yourself to a certain extent, but from my experience, I would say that there are a lot of blocks and a lot of triggers that I wouldn't have been able to see had I not had coaching and had I not had a group of women supporting me, just like Ellie. She's one of those, because I I can't see my own blockages. Like it's as simple as that. So yes, work on your wealth consciousness, but try to get in a container, whether it's one-to-one private coaching, whether it's a group setting, whatever it is that you can, where somebody else can help you with this process, because it's not about attracting wealth once, it is about becoming a wealthy woman who also doesn't self-sabotage, because that's what we spoke about today.
Yeah,
So yeah.
absolutely. And I know that so many times we think, oh, but that's like money that I spent on coaching, and coaching is like sometimes hard to grab because it's so invisible, right? But and yet it's like those blockages are invisible, but imagine you stand in the woods in front of like a lot of trees and you don't have Google Maps. So, and you need to go out of this wood. You just want to climb the mountain, and a coach just literally can show you the way and help you overcome those challenges and blockages from another perspective. And what I always told myself, because you ladies know my story. I don't come from wealth. I literally always manifested the money for my coaching. And what I told myself is like, money comes back. Also, I can manifest money. If I need money, I just like find it. Like I just want, I'm just gonna try my best to find it. And somehow I always found it for whatever I wanted. But my lifetime doesn't. And I'm just so grateful that I got to up level to this point where I am right now, right? Of, having love in my life, having amazing relationships, health, multiple five-figure months, like with something that I absolutely love and allows me to travel and take so much time off. So I'm just so grateful to have this kind of life. And it didn't happen because I'm special, because I'm lucky. It happened because I up leveled. And as I'm sharing, money comes back, but lifetime doesn't. So I'm so grateful to live a life right now where, again, I have clients who are in their 70s. One of them gets married in October. I'm like, my one-on-one client, so excited. Like, yeah, she gets married to a millionaire in October. And her life changed in her, late 60s. Now she's 70. And I mean, it's amazing. And yet, what if your life can change when you are 20 something, 30 something, 40 something, 50 something. You don't have to wait, because the truth is, when you even watch other people, even your parents, even other people you aunts you know for years, they don't change with age. They stay the same. They keep repeating the pattern. And that's the scary thing. But that's what coaching gives you, the transformation. Like, if you, of course, have the right coach that speaks to you, the transformation on having a different reality. And that comes with this up level. And this up level has this challenge, which is so hard to overcome by yourself. Like, literally, at my level, I still have multiple coaches who hold me accountable, who help me in those dark moments, which I also have sometimes still. And yeah, again, money comes back, but your lifetime doesn't. And if you want to have certain results, you get to collapse time by having the right support.
I absolutely agree with you on that.
All right. So thank you so much, ladies, for joining. And if you are looking for one-on-one support, feel free to reach out to either me or Pavel, whoever speaks to you. We are both amazing support. And I can say that I do have some one-on-one spots free in June still, also a special offer for one-on-one entry. I know, what about you, my dear? You seem pretty booked out lately, but I don't know, maybe you still have some spots in June?
I do, actually, I do. I do have open spots for one-on-one coaching, and I would love to have empowered women, empowered in making the right decision if it feels inspiring to them. So
Okay,
yes.
amazing. So I will drop also the all the links in the description box and contact information. Okay, thank you so much, ladies, for watching, and tell us in the comments your biggest takeaways, and if you enjoy those kind of conversation, where it's like a interview conversation style, so I can do more of that. And yeah,